So I just picked up a little something from the op shop. This is Junior Scientist Series Tumbling Robot, and it appears to be an electronics kit from Japan, for kids, obviously, ages 8+. So before we go opening the box, we'll just take a little look at the packaging. So we've got this interesting little instruction book which should come in very handy. It's actually a glossy magazine, which is really quite well done of them, and it's fully illustrated, and it gives a good demonstration of the capabilities of this thing, so it's looking pretty exciting. In the back we've also got some pretty cool little note section with dun, dun, dun. So inside the box, it's very difficult to do one-handed. Oops. Inside the box we have a couple of goodies. It's all sealed, which is very interesting given it was an op shop find. In here I think we've got the little head and the arms, which are quite muscular, flexing, and the decals, and I think a little more of the same, except some of the inner workings, and also the feet. Now this is what I found interesting. I think these batteries have seen better days, so I'm gonna have to probably get myself another set. Yes, look at that delicious battery acid. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and put this away.
We'll open up plastic, which probably hasn't been opened before. Alright, so we'll just keep the plastic bags. I always like to do that. This one has a cardboard backing, so we'll leave that for last. And we've got the head, the glorious, glorious head.
Alright. So as you can see, the plastic parts are actually pretty nice. They're not cheaply done at all. In fact, this is quite impressive. And the decals look fun. This is the main body, and I'm guessing the battery housing will be here somewhere. I'm guessing in here. Alright, so these are our parts. So I've just assembled the right hip. I'm not sure whether the documentation was very clear on which one was left and right, but I just followed step 1, 2, and 3. I would have held the camera while I was doing it, but it was very fiddly, and I felt like it was about to give out on me, but thankfully the plastic isn't too old. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, which involves aligning pins to this hole here, and that's the left leg done. So actually it wasn't as involved as I thought. It just involved putting these 2 pins in here and here, and now we have sort of a base. I'm guessing the next step is going to be to put these feet base on, so we'll see if it is indeed the next step. And looks like looks like we're going to move on to the chest. Anyway, actually I was wrong. This is what we need to put in next. This is what the guide calls the leg sensor, which is pretty interesting. I don't see any sort of sensing capabilities on this, but we'll see how it goes. So we've got the leg sensor and the chest, and I'm guessing the back plate is this one, which we're going to snap on. So in putting on the back plate, I had to line up these little pegs inside, and it was a little perilous there for a second, since I don't want to break any of it. But it seems pretty sturdy now, so I think we can continue. And you know what? I forgot to RTFM because I had to put the arms in before I put the back plate in. So here's take two. I'm going to snap the arms in now. And there we go. No harm done, thankfully. And we've got a little body being constructed. Alright, it's time to put the back plate on. Alright, so we're nearly there. It's been surprisingly simple. Actually, not so surprisingly, given the age range for this particular kit, but it's been pretty fun so far. So I'm going to pop the head on now, as it's telling me. I'll see if I can do it one-handed. Cue dramatic music. So I just noticed that the feet are actually the battery housings, which is very clever. It's a very interesting design. It should keep the center of mass very low so our little friend here doesn't fall over, although I think that's the idea given some of these comics. So now it's time for the electrical setup. So we're going to keep the foot button pushed in, because it does raise, so we're going to keep it pushed in. And this apparently is going to be the on-off switch of the robot, which makes sense since that's where the battery, well, one of the batteries is housed anyhow. So we just had a little bit of cable management to do here, just curling up that wire, and we're going to plug in these two little dooblackies, and that's going to supply the power to the motor. Okay, so I just put the batteries in, and it turns out he's a very spirited little fella. As soon as I got them in there, I probably should have connected the back last, because, and I'm holding this down because he immediately started writhing around as soon as I'd finished, and I'll just let the button go and I'll show you what I mean. Now I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to be. And I only can hope that I've assembled it properly. Just move the leg around a bit, and I think we've got a bit of a better gait going, kind of. So one of the cool features that you can do is he'll actually right himself and continue walking and destroying your entire workspace. It's great. Every office should have one. If I touch the back here, he'll do some violent sit-ups and then he'll get back to it. Cobot will never give up. Well, that is certainly no understatement. He has amazing power and energy. Also, not at all an understatement. So, yes, it's behaving just as advertised. So I'm pretty happy with this little op shop find. And there's plenty of other gear orientations and things that you can do to change his gait and also make him behave in different ways. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy my little op shop find, and this was the Cobot, or the Junior Scientist Tumbling Robot, and it was a really fun little op shop find. I'm very glad I picked it up.